Top of the morning to ya. Happy Black Friday, everybody. Hope your Thanksgiving was amazing. I was very happy and pleasantly surprised. And in the back of my mind thinking, ooh, Saturn's direct. I'm feeling the energies, things moving forward. Mercury this weekend as well. We'll be going direct. Yay! Okay. So I really thought I was going to kind of go over a little bit of this. Screenshot it if you like. That's where everything is right now. The moon is in Pisces, meeting up with Saturn that's moving direct. And of course, we have Neptune here as well. So, and the North Node. It's really interesting, right? So maybe emotionally or even having some kind of structures going on. There's so much going on energetically. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? I feel it too. But I feel it a lot more because, sorry, I pulled my laptop up, but I do have my trusty notes as always, and I haven't been on for a while. I was really sick, you guys, so I apologize for not giving some updated transcripts on a few things. So, as you know, and if you don't, I've been communicating galactically for many years. And now I'm finally understanding my mission and involvement. And that's to bring to you information that is coming through. We're all going to be receiving messages. It's really going to happen very, very soon. Lots of us out there are talking about it now, and we are all serving as guides until you ease into the new frequencies and are able to do this on your own. So I just want to talk a little bit, and I do have to go over my notes because I channel this. It's hard to explain, but I channel it all. And when I do, I don't remember everything that's said. Often I have to look up what they said because it's a little bit beyond my understanding sometimes in the words they use to describe things happening. So, one of the things that I will just reflect back to, I'm trying to see how far back I want to go because I've been for 10 days really, really sick. Luckily, my 10th day was yesterday, and I was able to enjoy Thanksgiving with my family. So, all right, I will go ahead and go back at least to this day. So I had something come in and it said Shashinutiskana. It means it had to do with the moon, and it had to do with protection and assistance. Now, every time I make a connection, I've been making a connection, whether it's Galactic Federation or Arcturian, Palladian, Lyran. Let me see some others that I've been. Greco Reptillian has been for the past few days. But it's interesting in that understanding because when I met with the Galactic Light Federation, they informed me that they were actually moving away. So we are understanding 3i Atlas. And I said before that they told me that they were one of three, that there were others. And what that was in reference to is the 2 before 3i Atlas that we recognized and saw. So this has been going on for a while. Now, I don't want to be too confusing in what I'm saying because there's so much to go back on and I get this information every day. So that would be a lot. 10 days would be a lot of stuff to try to have an understanding, but in this transmission that goes back when I had Shashinutiskana, sound a lot better when they said it, to give information on the moon and its protection and assistance. It's interesting. I thought I was going to be doing an astrology and tarot channel. As a matter of fact, that was totally the direction I was going in. And I just used to use this all for my own, and I would question it, and I would be like, is this really happening? And as soon as I said, okay, I'm just going to trust this, and it just stemmed into more that it then became a message and necessity to begin now communicating to you. So the way that I was told things were happening was that originally, and this was a long time ago, weeks, months, the 3-eye atlas actually was becoming Kazemi with the sun, which now I know why I've understood astrology the way I have, because last year they explained to me the rainbow, the colors of the rainbow, all obviously align with our chakra system, right? And each planet holds its own frequency. Now, I've understood that for sound healing. It's funny how things all of a sudden come together, because I'm a sound healer too, and then astrology. And now it's all coming piecemealing together. So those frequencies are actually from different stars, different planets, and other outer galactic dimensions utilize those planets as well. So 3-eye atlas, Galactic Federation, even the Greco Reptillian. I don't know about any, I know there's just reptilian, but specifically I was told Greco, so that's what I'm going to talk about. So Galactic Federation told me that the Greco Reptilians were holding the line. There's other starships out there. There's other entities out there that are all working as one. The way that I was told is that it is a unified mission for all of us to experience the Ascension. There is a timeline. It's a choice if you want to experience that Ascension. The energies are available to you if you so choose to move with it. We have free will on this planet, so we are getting frequencies. You may have gotten sick already like me. That's part of it too, our nervous system. You may have gotten headaches. You may have gotten dizziness. You may have gotten ringing in the ears. You may have even had stomach upset. There's a lot of different ways this could have experienced for you, or could have been experienced for you, excuse me. So without getting too confusing, every organization, whether it's the Zetas or the Lyrans or the Reptilians or other members of the Palladians, the Arcturians, you get the list goes on and on and on of galactic entities, and each one holds a specific frequency as well, or a lesson to which on Earth was not learned. We have plateaued to a level now that this ascension process is to begin. Hopefully we're going to make the right choice on this. And it is a higher dimensional shift. This was told to me on the 21st. And it is a shift of lower frequencies. I'm reading now exactly what I wrote. So forgive me if it sounds a little like, whoa, wait, what? Because I understand. That's why I have to look things up sometimes. So a higher dimensional shift of lower frequencies to that of higher magnitude. This shift has already begun, as many of you are currently experiencing. Some of you are feeling a shift. I definitely in consciousness. While some, such as yourself, meaning me, as I was writing in, are currently undergoing a biological shift that has now begun to work with your bodily system. This shift for you has resulted in flu-like substance alterations. I already knew that I was sick. That was just for me to understand. Fear not, as this is the body's way of adjusting to a new frequency. That which counteracts a normal process within the body that the body is now trying to recalibrate. So that was the reason for my sickness. If you're feeling it, just know that's the reason for you too. The body sees this as a foreign object. It is now treating it as so, and thus feels as if this is a virus. And so it was trying to attack. It is not. It is a frequency upgrade by which the body does not yet understand. You may assist this process of frequency with 963 hertz, if you can obtain it. Let the body rest and recalibrate with that it deems as foreign. Know this process may take some time. It is purely systemic but necessary. And then asked me if there were any other questions. And I asked, are you delivering this frequency? And the response was yes. But as previously mentioned, we are all working as one, all ships, all races. So my question that I was asking before was trying to find out, this was with an entity called T. TEE is how it came out. And it had said that they had already come onto the solar system. Now, this 3i Atlas that we know of already had gone to different planets. Not all of them, but a few of them. And I mentioned Mercury Cazimi. When it went to the sun, not Mercury Cazimi, the sun being burnt, no, it was Mercury Cazimi, I think, and then burnt up. It supposedly would have burnt up by the sun, but it didn't and passed through. I was told at the time that when it was going to the sun, that it was actually taking samples, and that was right when we started getting the solar flares at real high magnitudes. That's how long it's been, I think, since I talked to you guys. So now I'll just go to look at a little. Okay, this is also 11:23. I heard Kutushkitisanas. Kutushkitisanas. Okay. I also heard Namisha Sutino Kum. Now, if you haven't heard of light language, that's light language. But I have been very skeptical on light language at first. I'm learning to decipher it. Like, what does this mean? And that's why I wanted also to come with you guys, because if you start getting downloads and if you start hearing certain words, certain sounds, what it actually means is and to measure destroyer of that. Oh, wait. An emulation, to measure destroyer of an emulation of rivalry. And the purpose of a point of view. So what they were trying to explain to me was that the polarity has increased to a level that can no longer sustain itself. If we continue at this level of polarity and not find some kind of balance, the ending would not be good. There would just be an ending. And so the frequencies coming in are to help us. And even Hermetic principles come up a lot. As above, so below. So they've come, they being galactic entities, they've come to an understanding of the levels at which things have gone too far. And they have come together, to which also are giving us energy and new frequency upgrades for us to also come together. I think everyone at this time, I totally resonated with this because I feel like it's gone. It's too much. It's just too much. You know, people that are family and friends and colleagues, and they're just not willing to meet in the middle. They're not willing to find a commonality and a common ground. However, I have noticed that around the holidays, I've been doing a few things leading up to Thanksgiving to prepare for the meal, and I found quite a few people that were very giving, very kind, very friendly. So I met also with Tia. So there was T and Tia. Tia could have been T. I really don't know. But I've met with Tia separately already before once, and more than once. And so she does, I ask all entities for their name. And if not their name, who they're from and where they're with. So she's with the Arcturian Council, and just wanted to bid farewell on the introduction. You have noticed frequencies by which you are carried that surround you with energies causing dis-ease. Again, another day, this was when I was sick, and she was just acknowledging. We here noticed as well. We and you also noticed the moment you realized you felt better energetically and physically. So it is true. She's acknowledging as soon as I already received the other information, and understanding that this isn't some, something that was, I was in bed for 2 days, guys, couldn't even get up. So it's hard to describe what I was feeling, but this is just another point of reassurance for me. And on an energetic level and a physical level, it really did uplift me. I was given a few things to do. Mainly it was because there was bronchial. The cough lingers forever, but it was mullein and black seed oil with gosh, I can't think of the herb. It's an antibacterial oil. Oregano. Sorry. Okay. Anyways, they were explaining to me that there were things at this time, and you're being asked to as well. We have a Gemini full moon on the 4th of December to release anything that was held back. So a lot of the things that seem to be coming up are karmic. They're patterns that all of us have held over time. Remember, Pluto, the last time it was in Aquarius was like Civil War. So it's very possible, of a past life regressionist as well, it's very possible that even from then, we are holding on to the wounds of our ancestors. And so all of this is a form of a purge with these energies. And this full moon, which is bending the nodes, it's at 13 degrees, and so are the north and south node. That's powerful. So they're explaining that with my sickness, but in general with others, there's a purging that's needed at this time. And as we purge, as we release, more connection and our abilities will grow. A lot of what was said as well was that my channeling memories were actually... So your channeled experiences are none other than memory restored for a collective awareness of what you know are the means to share your humanity. That's when I was saying, okay, I got a huge confirm on what I need to be coming to you guys about. The collective consciousness shall share in awareness once you release through the spoken word. And that requires me So, Nami Shasuti Nokum is an emulation of that which is good, thus, in this way, of purpose and point of view. That's what I understood later for all of that to mean. Let this be true and peace be with you. That's something that is for all. Now, it's interesting because... well, I'll read this. So then we get the 24th. And it was the transmission was interesting because I saw a large plume of water sprouting out like a funnel. So if you think of a funnel, you know, that goes down like a tornado, it was the opposite, going out. And then I saw a water can sprinkle on the earth to grow. So there's a purification process happening. And then I saw, this was interesting, I saw wood, like firewood, being taken out of the fire as opposed to be putting it into it. And there was something about letting the trees grow, not using them for fire. There was something very, very important about that. Too much foraging was one of the messages that came through. Time now to give back and nurture and take care of the earth. No deforesting. And wouldn't you know it, right around now, what are we doing? We're chopping down all these trees for our homes, for Christmas trees. I think that's really important message that came through for that around this time specifically. And then this was really weird. I saw a ship. It wasn't a boat like that we know. I mean, a spaceship. And it was breaking through a rubber barrier. And this was Zeta. That's a galactic entity origin. and it was the Zetas. So there are many galactic among your planet trying to preserve that which is life-sustaining. This is the message. There are those who deforest to drill. This creates a collapse of the Earth's core where tectonic plates must release. Okay, so this is where it gets this is the word. Igneous gases. I had to look that up, and that means fiery and burning and unpleasant. There is great disruption happening, so much so that it is not enough for those trying to preserve. At this time, conscious efforts must be made for those who can do their part in this process. Save the trees, save the earth, for the trees deliver what the body needs. At this time, technology has made its advancements, but the earth has suffered. Humanity must make its choice. Purification of the planet will inevitably be needed if those on earth do not come to this understanding. Cuneiform calamities will result if this is not changed. I had to look up cuneiform. Ancient history, the Great Flood, which all recognized its existence. We are the Zetas, also known as the Z's. That is all. So that is how they, when they're done, they'll say, that is all. Sometimes they say good day to you. And sometimes in the beginning or sometimes in the end, they let me know who they are. This one really upset me a little bit. This was on the 25th. And this was Galactic Federation. And they let me know that through means not of their own, that they would no longer correspond. And I'm like, ooh, what does that mean? Through patterns of convergence, we have been led to another solar system. So then that made me understand, okay, so it's not me personally. They'll come back, they'll do whatever they need to do or whatever. Now, this is Dishikana. The drier Draco Reptilian fleets have surrounded our perimeter in such a way that we have no other recourse at this time. This is Galactic Federation Council of Light. We are in need of supplies and recognizance of surplus needed. Various members of the council must return for safety of their consulates and thus will return amongst their beings. This is not to say there will not be a return. Quite the contrary. It's a necessity, means to reconfigure and return amongst the updated frequency analysis. This is a positive position for humanity, although it may not be deemed as such. So immediately I was like in panic mode, but then once they were continuing and explaining, my mind went at ease. Our return requires new dictorates, whom shall consume higher states of frequency. They already exist. We must now reconfigure as such and with such to perform the necessary analysis and concede to higher states of performance. We shall return another time upon doing so. That is all. So that was on the 25th, and they were letting me know that they had to remove themselves. Like I said, there's a lot of ships out there other than what we see. The reason we don't see yet, and this is my motto, as you guys know, your frequency is what you frequently see, right? So as we raise our frequency and become in 5D consciousness, we will then see them because their frequency is of higher level. Now, what the Galactic Federation was explaining in what I just read you was that there are many entities on board, and the frequencies that are being emanated all at once, that some of them, they just couldn't handle everything all at once, like where their proximity was. So they had to get those people back to safety, back to where they needed to be. But that as soon as that was done, that they would again return, but with people that can handle this type of frequency. So this is constant at us right now, you guys. It's constant. And it needs to be, because we're talking lifetimes of this. So there's a lot of lifetimes that they have to go through. Okay, so then, good day. We greet you once more. Today's transmission was not of 3i Atlas, but of our Confederate ship. 3i Atlas will uphold and maintain its due course. This is our own recognizance that we return for frequency analysis components. There are many motherships, such as our own, that will surpass immediate codes deemed necessary. They are on standby of sorts. The need for our return is not a permanent one. Like I said, they're reassuring me because I'm obviously asking questions, and mainly what I'm doing is just giving the answers to you. It is like you would term refueling. And as a firefighter, you might say going back to gather further equipment and surplus needed, and possibly another truck to put out the fire, let's say. So that's how they were describing it to me. There is no need for concern, for this will simply need to gather more supplies. Greco Reptillian, I wrote with question marks. Yes. So I was asking them, excuse me, I need to take a drink real quick. Small little cup of tea. Okay. And the response was, yes. That is the reason further supplies are needed. 3i is still set for its due course and frequency. It cannot be stopped. This will not alter or change its due course. This is all of highest order and frequency. All is on target and for us as expected. There is no need for concern. So that was a relief. Because at first I thought, wait, what? Like, you're having to leave? That's a fortunate circumstance. Draco Reptilian. What's going on? And then they inform, no. They're good. We're going back. We have to kind of like gather some more resources and stuff, but we'll be back. Okay. So that was a different, the next day was different channeling experience. I channel Mary as well. Okay. So this was the interesting part on the 27th. Is it 28th? It is 28th. So yesterday. I kept hearing like something that was like, I'm trying to use it as an analogy that you could understand, but if you've ever watched like Alien, the movie Alien, and they go, that's what I was hearing. And I heard shushkinin. Now, mind you, when I channel, you guys, so my handwriting, sometimes I can't even read it, I apologize. I heard shushishkin. I believe you are already aware by the entrance, but you are speaking with Krinsek of reptilian race. There is nothing to be afraid of, I assure you. Draco Reptilian, yes. I asked, are you Draco Reptilian? It is so indeed. We have several ships, just as GFL informed you. I'm abbreviating Galactic Federation, Galactic, 3 ships, as mentioned, gather now to hold current frequency. We are a part of this global galactic effort. We realize many fear our names. We understand why as well. Not all are bad. Polarity exists within the universe as well. We have been able to settle differences for this cause and are are playing an integral part as Earth's frequencies are similar in polarity at this time. It is an agreement amongst us all that this shall be no longer a frequency to uphold upon the Earth, as Earth has its importance to us all. It is time now for Earth to do the same in coming together as we have done. A common ground such as we. Hermetic principle, you call it. Our ships can sustain where GFL cannot at this time. Greater forces are needed at this frequency, or as this frequency is very strong. We submerge into your gravitational system at the moment upon the Earth will see great shifts. The band together shall see and incorporate anomalies like never seen before as this shift has not existed as such. One could say evolving for humanity. Today. Again, I hear the ticking noise. So I'm like, Draco Reptillian. Again, it's the same Sitchinista. So then I hear clicking and it sounds like I probably look ridiculous making that sound. And then I hear Moivebu Shushik Nam. And I sense the energy containment. I feel frequency alterations. I see wind blowing and I see waves. And I see, interestingly enough, and this is what I found so fascinating, is that if you know about Hermes himself, right, the great messenger, who is now Mercury is the messenger, who is the hermetic principle of Thoth, who was he wasn't a crow, but I can't remember what he was. But anyways, he can speak in Hades, which is below, and heaven, or so there's this essence of Hermes. What's really fascinating is that Mercury on the 29th, today's 28th, will be going, we already had Saturn go direct yesterday, and then on the 29th, Mercury goes direct, or actually stations direct. So it could have been that that's the way that they were describing to me, because I just suddenly got chills. But like I said, everything they're doing and all these frequencies that they're upholding and getting ready for and moving for, I feel like the Galactic Federation ship left when it did because Saturn was about to move direct, and so was Mercury. So they're dropping off the people. It's a band of people, you guys, entities, I should say, that are moving all around, that are going to all the planets, that are gathering all the energies and the frequencies, and it's like this big blast of... So now I understand a little bit more. And the ship holding the Draco Reptilians, well, theirs is strong enough to withstand all this. So that they're holding down the fort as all this transition is happening. But what they're explaining to me is that I see Thoth's face. I saw a crow that turned into Lake Hermes. And I just got chills and tingles all over. And my message that I wrote was, I shouldn't say my message, but the message that I wrote was, you are now recalibrating at highest timeline, for which alterations currently has succeeded that before. During this shift and thereafter, as the process continues, remember the feeling you had, chills and tingles. So when you get chills and tingles, if you know something to be true, this is a little witchy woo-woo, but it's true. So you know how you have something of a thought in your mind, and then all of a sudden you get chills, right? Or somebody confirms something that you were wondering or thinking in your mind and you get chills over it. That's a confirm. So I was getting chills and tingling, as I said before, when I saw Thaw's face and everything, the chills and tingling. And in this, the chills and tingling are a clear indicator. When this moment arises, allow yourself time to calibrate through stillness and breath. Notice intense thirst that cannot be quenched. There is no other existence than the one you're currently experiencing, for the merging of timelines is in occurrence. That's why I said what I said before about the timelines. This is fascinating to me. So if you get intense thirst, try to quench it. But if you cannot, just know this is part of the process. If you notice your body getting all of a sudden chills or, just tingles, like the little tingly feeling throughout your body, kind of like goosebumps even, just know this is the process going through. So I'll pick up where I left off, and it says, for the merging of timelines is in occurrence. This is great because this is what I was explaining before about how now all of a sudden it's like our karmic past, our karmic ancestry is being eradicated. We're moving up in this timeline and getting rid of all that BS that we had carried with us. This allows for clearing of karmic blueprint. Ascension is requiring. So it's getting rid of the karmic stuff that Ascension needs. All such to be complete. Warfare among your planet shall cease. Karmic pathways as well. That's a huge win. That's a big woo! This is a process and shall take some time for frequency recalibration. Further analysis will be conducted as this and other frequencies persist. Allow this integration within yourself. And it's not just me. I'm the messenger. So when I'm saying it's actually oneself. So saying allow this integration within oneself. So essentially, I'm now up to date with you guys. Luckily, it's still under 45 minutes and not a whole hour long. I apologize for the long-windedness, but the point of it all is, yes, we are going through an ascension process. Yes, we are going to feel possibly sick like me, chills, tingling, and that intense thirst. Just know what and why these frequencies are currently existing, and notice that as you let it work through you. This is such a huge time to release. December 4th is huge. It's literally on the lines of fate. So release, let go, release, ground, please. Go for a walk. I know it's cold in some places. Trust me, it's like in the 30s here. But, I just wear my cozy slippers all Sherpa lined outside, and then I just take my feet out, my bare feet, and just put them on the ground, even if it's just for like, I don't know, just a couple minutes even. See if you can get up in the sunrise and watch the sun just for a minute as it's coming up. Sun gazing. Do what you can. Go in nature. The messages were definitely not to deforest. If you can buy a fake tree, or maybe if you can buy a tree that has a bulb that you can plant, that would be great. Even if it's like a little Charlie Brown arborvitae tree or something. Actually, I hope I said that right. Either way, these messages are so strong and they're so positive, and I'm very, very excited to deliver them to you. So now, any astrology news that I get or things that are coming up, I'm beginning to understand why. I was learning this process and, do what I can to let you know what I can, but these messages are super important, so stay tuned. Please like if you like, or, any help that you can give me. No charge to you, but I would love to get this message out and help others any way I can. Much love. Thank you. Bye for now.